say hi to YouTube. It's gonna be on
Wait,
YouTube
where's
later.
he at?
Anywhere.
Oh, Nana. Okay.
Yeah, he's on a Nata. I don't remember last time I checked, but he's not far. Anyways, so round base 22, which I thought was pretty good. Any general statement you guys want to make before we kind of hop into the discussion of the chapter? Anything you want to point out?
I was right.
About?
Literally, what happens with Lee's and how this entire thing works out, I literally called it last week.
So you think you're a genius?
I'm definitely not a genius by any means. Trust me.
I feel it. Not the 7. Okay, all right, man. Take care. Uh,
My brain.
and you told me your brain was an overdrive for the weekend, trying to figure out some of the Lee stuff.
My brain still hurts. I don't know what the fuck is happening.
I read it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday's
Yeah.
when I read it, so it's still kind of fresh to me. But I will say this: I'm gonna start here just because I got to talk about my feelings and emotions. They're the most important thing to me. Nothing else matters except how I feel. This panel of Lee's broke my heart, bro. Hers looking in the white in that colorless panel. That hurted. Like I saw that, I didn't know what happened, and I'm like, no, what they do to her? I'm so emotional about it. Yeah, I just started. So you're a bit of a philosopher and a prophet yourself, man.
I try.
But yeah, I think she said in the comments, like whatever, not in the comments, in her like little blog post that she thought about doing it in color. It was totally the right choice to not do this panel in color. I think it hit emotionally with a lot of people because of the way it looked like this. But all right, let's talk about what happened though. But I just want to mention that because man, my heart, it hurted. Do you guys think that the original timeline has changed? By the way, like from where they've come from. Okay, well, shoot, go ahead, talk about it. Talk about it. Because that's what I'm wrestling with right now. Where I'm like. And like, okay, if something goes kind of awry, can you do something to low key fix it? Like it goes back on track. Like, what are you guys thinking?
Well, I think it's for sure.
What was the question?
If the timelines change, I think it's for sure hasn't changed because
no.
The record didn't state that Samfati was like anything happened to her that was different, even after the point where he looked and said all of the Rakshasa died. So it's very clear that the only reason that she's alive is because Maruna saved her, and that was always supposed to happen.
Okay, no, that's fair. That's
kind of
yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say I just think this is the same thing that's been happening since the timeline stuff has happened. Every interaction of like where they've been in the past and think they shouldn't do something but do it. It's always been meant to happen because those actions literally lead into what we've seen in the present time and time again.
I kept talking about when I was doing the catch-up streams now, where it's like this is just easy closed loop time travel rules that she's doing.
Yeah.
Okay. He's still, by the way, you still can't turn back. He's still big as hell over there. They tiny as hell on that screen. But so him intervening because history deviated means that he was always supposed to go in that room, read something he didn't understand, and thus basically do a course correction himself, which was always the intended action. The idea is that all of these characters think that they're divorced from the history in the past, but really they're a part of it because they get displaced, they go do things, and they come back. All right.
It's indicative of Ananta rewriting over the words of the paper. It probably happens now where, since Maruna did this, that paper that said all the Rakshasa die, it's probably going to say all the Rakshasa die except Samfati.
Okay, that's fair. Oh, greater wisdom, Lord Miles, bless you, us mere mortals walking on the path of knowledge with your blessing of wisdom. We'll get to that after a bit. So give us like 40 minutes or so. I mean, she technically was not left in Willow. She was taken to the Sura realm. Okay, but yeah. So he said he found about it here, and there's a moment here that I think that I appreciate. Like I appreciate it, even though in a weird way I don't care about it. I want to know your guys' thoughts about this. So obviously, he talks about why he couldn't meet her, what he's doing in the past, and he kind of has to shamefully say something that probably wouldn't have bothered him in the past. That he was basically attacking other planets, and his task was to kill those carrying the name Kubera for the sake of Anata's resurrection. and you look at Rand's kind of face and how he sees it and how he's like reacting to it, right? So starting with Cart in N5 until Willov in N15, I carried out that task on 11 planets within those 10 years, and he looks like he's hurting for it. And the reason that I said I can appreciate this moment is like I don't I don't I may not see this the way as other people do, so I'm interested to see how you guys think about it. But I don't my moral compass is messed up. My ethical code is already messed up, and I'm not going to hold Suras by the same kind of metrics that humans do in terms of what they think about life and how the world should work. I do think Suras are actually different beings and creatures and see things differently. And though I'm not cool with them going around just stomping on humans type beat, humans and Suras are not the same being. Do you get what I'm saying?
I agree and disagree.
Okay, talk to me.
So I completely agree that from their own standpoint of how they interact with each other is completely up to them. They're more so animalistic than humans, so they really rely on king of the jungle. You eat not even really like for food because a lot of them just do it for energy, but like you need energy to survive against other powerful opponents. Yes. However, the moment you decide to step in and interact with a different culture society that is not yours, you're not just allowed to input your own way of living onto those people. So the moment you come and fuck with humans, now it's just fair game of whatever humans want to do. So I would agree, like, if Maruna did this with other Shuras, it sucks, but that's just how they've always lived, like how Gandharva treated Raltar and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But when he goes to do it to humans, then I do think, no, that is a genuinely, like, horrible thing that he has to, like, that they have a right to hate and curse and put sins or do whatever onto him.
Okay, Glam, you there?
I echo.
You're good.
I echo Miles' sentiment.
Oh, okay. So, I got a slight pushback. Um, I don't know because I don't know. I feel like Miles doesn't do this. Like, if I see an ant in my house, I just step on it, and I don't feel any way about it because I see myself as a superior life form.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
so like,
That doesn't make it right though. You know what I mean?
like all right, I suppose I go all right,
I
fair
think
enough.
I think
Eh,
there's a difference in that comparison.
Yeah, I
Ants
guess the
have,
consciousness is low.
don't have
I
higher
mean,
thinking.
they all right. Yeah, that's actually a good point. You know,
Ants are just purely.
unfortunately, we're the smartest, more I guess, most intellectual animals on the planet. So we're kind of top of the food chain. But
It's kind of like, let's look at, like, even in history, like let's say, like, just in American history when they went around just mowing down bulls, right, or bison, right, and just fucked up like their whole like ecosystem. Like, what would, like, we've looked at that historically and say that is a cruel act and that's fucked up because there was no purpose to it other than just for the sake of killing, right? Like, if it was like we ate them, used the fur for, like, which probably some were, but like it was just more so damn near mass extinction, which even we could look at as bad. So there are certain, other actions to go about it. Like, maybe if the Shuras were like, I mean, they don't even eat humans for energy. So, like, I don't know. There's not really much I feel like there, other than just cruel killing.
okay, I guess it's just one of those. Like, I mean, I'm not mad at your perspective. I guess again, I had a feeling that I might be a little bit off on like I guess on a limb on this one because I actually like the idea of Maruna wrestling with those emotions and it affecting Rand in some meaningful way, where it's like it wasn't okay that you did all those things. And you might have to pay for that in some way, shape, or form, even if that's just like slight ostracization or an emotional outburst of anger or sadness from somebody that you harmed or something of the sort. It doesn't mean like, oh, he must, I don't know, take on the sins for all those things. Maybe he does, but I like that he has to pay for it. I guess the thing with me is that I just don't like. I think that all those different races and stuff, and especially because of lifespan specifically, is a thing I like to key on a lot. I just think they look at life completely differently, and I'm not like as much as I have my opinions and my thoughts and my perspectives, I don't think that the way that I think is necessarily applicable and right to all people. So if Suras look at us like ants because they can literally become 8 times bigger than the planet and just fucking kick the planet into the sun, I get it. I treat bugs like that, so it is what it is. But all right,
Yeah, I agree. I think some of those things like it makes sense, but just because something makes sense doesn't necessarily like
he's
mean a
right.
morality can be it. Yeah.
Yeah, but who is the arbiter of what is right or wrong? Whomst
Now that
whomstith?
is the
It's Cali. I'm kidding.
yeah.
But
It's a nada. It's a nada.
yeah. Wow, more incredible passing than I thought. But because the random me right now, I know you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do that. You shouldn't. Obvious thing. Then he starts to suffer from the. He says, "Be quiet." I'm thinking. Kalavinka was able to tell something was wrong with him, and his heart's hurting again. So it looks like the pledge token or whatever is starting to affect his heart again. Did you guys think that he was free from the pain, by the way, or because I remember Tatia saying that we have a technique that could make the pain subside for a bit, but I don't particularly remember her saying like, "Okay, you're cured, you're good to go." But Akasha, I think, had said that it's possible that when you leave, you just leave the pledge token on the younger version of yourself. So what do you guys think is happening here?
I thought it was there the whole time.
Yeah. I thought
the whole
vigor
point of him leaving early was because Hanuman was going to find a way to get rid of it permanently, and then he let that option go. So like, okay, he's going to have it for a while.
Yeah.
Do
And I
you
just took
think
it
that
as
his
like
thoughts towards Maruna is what kind of activated the pain, though? That's kind of where I was going.
no. I think it's one of those things of like I think him like I don't know how much adrenaline matters, but probably more so because he was not possessed, but affected by the vigor
I mean,
people that gave him like
I'm
infinite
not sure
vigor.
if
That
there's
just
any
helps.
real way to tell, but I would lean more towards it's because he used this Sura form than because of what Maruna's saying. But I have no way to prove that.
Only weaklings go by morals. Now you talking my language. Sorry,
wow. This guy's a
Tatius,
Superman fan, by the way. Y'all heard it.
It was a joke. Tatia said he was affected by transcendental to stop the pain, but the effect would fade with time. Oh, okay, thank you. Was Akasha capping to trick Rand about leaving it in his younger self, or was there actually
All
a chance?
Akasha does is cap. So we just
No,
have to
she was like kind of like trying to get him on his side, her side, or whatever. Because she was saying if you do, like your kid self will just fucking die. She was just trying to like scare Rand into like doing something.
Seems like he still has it, so maybe she lied, but I got no clue what's happening with these tokens. I'm not entirely sure myself. Since they are gone from the time that isn't Rand's child self at risk, if so, oh, I lost where I was at. If so, could he somehow get Yaksha's heart to save his child self? Hmm. Rules. Wait, rules. A good man doesn't need rules, and today's not the day to find out why I have so many. The 11th Doctor. I never watched Doctor Who like that. But we don't kill bug just because we can. At least I don't. I kill them because they're a pest. But I can't tell them to get out of my house. They can't understand me, but humans can communicate with Sirius, so it's different. I think that's a good point. I think that's totally fair. I was just quoting Black Adam from the Black Adam Superman Shazam movie. He's like, "Do you feel
Oh yeah,
something
he's
when you
like
crush an ant?"
that's
No,
the
because I
bar.
see
He's like
myself as a superior life form. I was just quoting Black Adam, but
he said you'll just kill me. I will.
you're right. A bug is a bug. Darth Trom.
He was
Vermin. What? No, he says trifle. Trifle. That's what it is. But anywho,
yeah. That's
so
Darth Gustang.
yeah, Gusting raw. So yeah, the pain started up again. He said, but it's not as bad though. So do you think that that means that it is getting better and the effect will subside completely at some point? Because he's saying the amount of pain. Wait, actually, hold on. Is he saying it's fine? It's not a better life when the amount of pain compared to the pain of burning? Does he mean burning in general when he was like in the fire and the vigor helped him, or does he mean the pain of his heart? And I'm not sure. First, so he explained everything to Maruna about the Eye of Perishment and everything. And then, so the Kalavinka part where she thought that he really took the item from her, I'm like, you didn't check. Honestly, I might have thrown out a drop kick. I'm sorry for that, but That was funny. What do you think is happening with the pledge token that he has, though? Is it the one that she has? Or do you think it's a different one? Like, what do you think is happening here?
I think it's a different one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Calavinka was just mistaken that it's the one she had or he had. It looked like she just never checked her pocket.
Yeah, 'cause I think it's her. I think it's the one that he's always had that he reformed or whatever. I think this is supposed to be one of those weird things for the audience members where we were supposed to believe Kelly Vinca because I think it was her that said it, but there was a thing of 5 pledge tokens or 10 or whatever being like shown, and like every one but one was known of what was used with it. So I think the whole thing was like if one is left, then Rand would probably there's some time shenanigans maybe have taken Calavinkas. But it seems like no, there was just an extra one that no one knew about.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just one of those weird things of like what like we're supposed to know as an audience based off these X factors. But I think it's just the same one he's always had.
No, it's true. All of them can communicate. They can't care. Rackers Jets, but both of them can write. My Tower of Mid Knowledge is out of whack. It's okay. You can put that series behind you for now. Okay, so one of the things I think is most interesting is about what Rand has to ask Tatia. What did he say? Do you remember when we went to Ancient Willarv? I mean that time when I was unconscious. Didn't you see a black human with a black cloak back then? If it's a black cloak, then you. No, not me. There was no one else besides you, right as I thought. And he says, it seems I won't figure it out again until I meet Tatia again and ask her about it. What do you think he's ask her about?
Please.
What about? I don't get it. Why her?
Like the one he was talking about was like, did you see Leeds, right?
Oh. Drink,
I don't know
drink,
what
drink.
Miles is talking about.
wait, what do you guys?
I just
Like
assumed because he reread, he knew something I didn't. Honestly, I was willing to defer. I'm
like
right,
when he's talking about like the person you saw, right? Like you saw him wearing black and stuff. He's talking about Lee's.
When did
Lee's
this
was
happen?
there. Remember when they went to Ancient Willarv? Lee's is the one that opens the portal.
Oh, this is like the last thing we kind of saw present time. You mean?
He's literally the one that opens the portal. They literally see like
she's like
the
sitting there, kind of.
spear. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay. It's weird that Maruna doesn't remember
To go
Lee's
pick up
from
sword
back
to reach
then.
leave because they can't leave, and she pulls up, takes the sword. Yeah.
I don't remember this at
I just
all.
forgot about Lee's apparently, but then randomly.
So basically, they go to Ancient Willarv because it's Shuri and like Shuri's daughter, right? And random Maruna in there talking about how we can't leave because no one around us can manipulate time at this point. So they see the Sword of Re because the Sword of Re can do transport. So they're like, maybe we could take this and do this. And Maruna's like, I'm gonna take this. But Maruna's like, I don't know if I should take this because I'm a Shura, and if I take it, this could like fuck me up because I can't regen it. It'll probably lead to my death. And it's kind of like bonded to life. Then out of nowhere, Lee's pulls up, grabs the sword, and then time warps them for them. But it seems like the weird thing with the Tatia thing is I guess that is Tatia. I assume that was Tatia's sister this entire time. Maybe I was misremembering.
Mm-hmm.
But like maybe there's a thing she couldn't remember Lee's being there, but Lee's came and helped them out. She was the one that was wearing the black.
Okay.
Why would Maruna not remember that?
I guess that's the. Is this before he likes humans? So maybe she doesn't remember because didn't he have trouble telling them apart for a long time?
Yeah,
Like literally couldn't tell you just couldn't tell humans apart really. It's before he met Brilith.
That was one of the sections of like Weight of Time that I was speed reading. I know
Yeah,
it's talking about when he said the pole because that's when they meet the two. What are they? Yaksha clan Sura that are
that was Shuri. That was Shuri.
Yeah,
that was Shuri
and the
being a child for some reason, her daughter,
and then Tatia.
Yeah. So I think that was supposed to be Tatia's sister that dies.
Okay, but what does Rand still doesn't? What does Rand need to ask her about though? Tatia specifically about her sister. About Leez? What does he need to know?
About Shuri?
Because this seems to be sorry.
Oh.
This seems so like the impression that I'm getting is that whatever question that he has to ask still has to do with like his heart. In my opinion, I could be wrong, but I just asking questions. It's before you met Lilith, he knows all. Do not doubt greater wisdom, Lord. It is in the weight of time 8. Thank you. That's really what I needed. Like, I needed the chapter number. Let's go take a gander. Weight of time 8.
Yeah,
Let's take a
I
gander.
guess he's trying to talk to Tati because he doesn't remember that entire moment. So he's like, if Tati was there, she might remember. If that is
Oh, I
her.
remember these two. The old lady. I remember this now. Okay, it's coming back
Yeah,
to
it
me.
was
I actually
the
remember.
two
I actually
gotcha
remember this little.
twins.
I won't lie to you. What I was thinking about was not this. But okay. Wait a time.
Yeah.
Head straight down. There's
I
no
don't know
mystical
why either of
path.
them would forget anything about that moment.
Mm-hmm. He's with me. Oh yeah, he's just holding. Rand. There's no city. It's impossible. There should definitely already be a city near D500. D500. What is that? I'm not sure if you're mistaken. It's an original Magic Planet. There is no such thing as a city. Ranma 3-star system. Never heard of it as a famous. So this is when he went back like really far back. Go ahead. I'll handle this. The Yaksha lives here. I think they are getting along with humans. Blah 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 blah. Bitty boo bitty blah bitty boo. Where's the sword part? Where's the sword at? Oh, there it is. This is the sword that human uses. Sword of Re was it? I see that it's stuck here. It's a weapon. X, Y, and Z. There's Rand still unconscious. Not
Yeah.
necessary. I'll just draw it. She's thinking about taking it, and then she takes it. It's enough for me to be the only one to wield it. What? How are you here? And she opens a portal. Oh, I remember this. And she just cuts. Yeah. Then she just dips. How did I
Yeah,
forget
that's
this?
what.
She just totally dips.
That's what. That's why this part's weird because Rand was the one that was knocked out and not Maruna, so the roles should be reversed on who remembers her being there.
That's so fascinating.
So I
So
don't know
wait,
if it's one of
what?
those possibility futures changed. I don't know.
That's fascinating. What? What? Why would he forget? Do you think? Like, hold on. Do you think because she's a time traveler and she's like weirdly like ethereal that there's that weird memory thing that happens sometimes, like with people like remembering Astro? Do you think it could be something related to that or not?
There is a weird thing with, yeah, because there's something with her that's really really weird, and this is like one of like these moments, and I still don't understand this to this day. Maybe someone can in chat can, but when Leez comes back, when she like instantly goes back from Conchas to Willarf, right, and she talks to Chandra, and like Chandra's like gonna be like, oh, you don't know that like Yuta is Maruna's brother because that's when she was attacking Maruna and they were doing that whole thing, and she's like, oh, she keeps forgetting herself.
Mm-hmm.
There's a moment where she's talking to Chandra and she's like, I'm gonna split you into 40,000 pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And Chandra gets freaked out because it takes him to like an ancient memory of, I can't remember who said that to him, but it was like another god or something said that to him. And he's like, why the fuck would she say this? This is really odd that she said this specific number.
Mm-hmm.
And then she says that to him, and no one else that was around heard or reckoned or remembers her saying that to him. And he's like, what the fuck just happened?
There's something going on with her. Then I definitely
So,
remember that thing because I remember Yuta saying that like she kept forgetting certain things she did or said and something like that. I remember that.
yeah,
What the
and
frick?
so if
Before
that thing happened with Chandra, that was just like, what?
that
So
was
It
like
was a
that's not
trauma
like,
shielding
it was
on
a
Lee's.
white
That was like
Vishnu
trauma shielding.
that was a white Vishnu that
yes.
said it to Chandra. Maybe they can't remember her for some reason, like they couldn't remember the 4-stage Yuta and the Abyss. Lee's almost trashed him with the sword in N23. She was there when he developed the 5th stage. He should remember her. No, I agree. Like,
I have a
I think
theory on why they can't remember the fourth stage Yuta.
you could okay, you can
Not the fourth stage Yuta, but the fake Yuta thing
you could
creature.
give us that. So let's take a pin in it for a second.
Yeah, that I have that in my part 2
You
thing.
said
We're
that
gonna
you
go
said
into.
okay. You said that Vishnu said that it was Vishnu that said that to Chandra, a white Vishnu. Yeah, according
Okay.
to Maruna, Chandra just stopped and almost walked off a cliff. He was distracted.
Yes.
Oh, holy crap! I am
it
sure.
was like it was one of those things like it was just super weird. I remember when I reread it, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Because it's one of those things that it's such an awkward moment thing that happens, but then no one but Chandra like even thinks about it, and Chandra even himself is like, "Am I insane for this happening right now? Like, what the fuck is going on?" So maybe there's some weird time dilation thing where she's just like, maybe because like the name shit, like she's like partially fading in and out of existence. I don't know.
It's not
Because you know, like when
impossible.
you get your name changed, like you forget shit.
This is why I don't feel bad for saying my head hurt.
That's no, yeah, Pantanaga. I got you on that one. I know what you're talking about. That's the one I'm thinking of. I got you. I think I can explain that one later.
But, huh?
Just wait on it. I
You got it, King.
Yeah, I can explain it now. I guess I'll explain it now. So the reason why I think people don't remember that one is this kind of goes what we are just saying. Whenever memory is ever like a thing, it always seems to be the case. It's always something that revolves around the name, because when names are changed, people are essentially kind of wiped off from existence, right? So we're talking about that weird non-Utah creature in D500 that like Maruna and them fought. I don't think that was actually Utah at that point in time. I think it was a creature or whatever that Callie was kind of like making that originally had Utah's OG name. And I think Callie then retook that name, and when she finally gave birth to someone, Utah with Garuda, she took that name from that creature that she had and placed it onto Utah as he was. So because that creature lost his name, his existence was wiped. But as you know, names have power, so that's why Utah in his like third stage form still has a lot of similarities with that thing because of the name sharing. So I think he was literally being used as a placeholder until she could finally give birth to accurately have that name used. That's how I look at it, at least.
Jesus Christ. Hold on. Oh, you mean the D5 of the future? I remember Callie saying that using insight on Lees was like navigating a maze. So I thought maybe he got lost in there when I first saw that. It still doesn't play in the. So you think that he used insight and maybe like read a bunch of. Oh, that's interesting. I remember that. It's a timey-wimey thing. Timey what? Timey-wimey. I have no idea where he picks the stuff up. The ghost talks to her. Like, also, as expected, greater wisdom, Lord Miles is. This is.
Jesus.
I said, oh, this is your new title, bro. Oh shoot. Okay. So we'll have to see what Rand was talking about. So they talk about saving Sempati. You could meet her in the past. Wait, I went back up. Where was I before? Steal your items, yada yada. Correct records. So Rand started to question the records that he was reading with the correct records. But do you think that like depending on what time you get displaced there, you have to read the records of that time, even if it's not rewritten yet? So
Hmm.
even if it's different later, if you were displaced in time 500 years earlier than like the present time in that weird white space, you could read something different.
Hmm.
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on which records you're reading, right? Because there's the records of the
I think
future
if
and then
you're
the
going
records
to
of
a
the
time
past.
before Maruna goes to save the Rakshasas, you're going to see that they're still all dead. And then
But if I
afterwards, it's
read
going
it
to say
after
all
the
of them are dead.
fact, they all
Yeah, it's
die
going to get
except
changed.
okay. That's kind of what I was thinking. Okay, cool. What do you think about Rand saying that he's the one who ruined Lee's life?
I
Do
think
you
it
Rand
think do you
saying
makes
think
that?
do you, do
sense.
you do you think he's just being overly emotional because of things that's happening right now, or do you think that there's actually some type of credence to that?
I
I
think it
think he's
makes
being
sense why
overly
he would think
emotional.
it. I don't think it's a fact, but I can see why he came to that conclusion.
Okay. So it ends towards the end. The flowers start to bloom. You see the Kubera, the god of Earth, Kubera, with I guess the Taraka and Simpati. They go away into the little portal. It's a nod to who you kill with your own hands, right? I wonder if he will. I wonder what he'll say after he's resurrected, whatever. Then he starts. I guess he starts to fade away because Jibril's already gone. Time to go back. Is this the limit for persisting after Summoners died? I just realized it's not on screen. My bad, guys. It's not on screen. Summoner has died. and I guess he's supposed to go like to wherever, like the God realm or whatever he's supposed to go. But somehow, I guess it looks like Kubera Leez again, almost like forcibly summons him to the point where he's like shocked again, and he's like, "Again, it's ignoring my own will. How did you do it? You're definitely not my summoner. So how?" And then you see that white page. My heart sinks. He looks at her. She's walking in like some type of blood, and she's covered in blood, and she's basically like, "God name my mom, give my mom back." Then it looks like, I don't know if it's the body of some creature or some fight happened here, or multiple fights, but it looks like it's like a bunch of blood and some possible Sura corpses around here, and the chapter ends. Oh my god, what's going on with young Lees, man? What's happening here? What's going on?
So I still think it's the same thing I said last week, where her village is at everybody does die, but Kubera uses his mental transcendental to create a fake village and world for her. Mm-hmm. Because I think that was heavily foreshadowed when she went to Unconscious, and Callie came out and they were doing all that stuff in like chapter like 80s. So I think he's pulling out the mental transcendental for her and creating a fake world for her this entire time. I guess her, Kaz, and Kaz's brother as well.
Glam?
I don't know.
He's fair. He's sorry for Doctor Who quotes. I'm talking about the brain, especially with the time travel shenanigans going on. It's fine. I have no smoke with Doctor Who. Rand still believes the villagers are alive until N15 because he only heard it from Lees and doesn't know about his mother. Didn't know his mother like Claire. There's power in my heart is broken. I think Taraka's line about Kubera's being more akin to a god of creation than Brahma is interesting.
Hold on now.
I'm gonna circle back to that. I might have read that wrong, interpreted that. Give me a second. Lorraine found 0 deaths, and Claire said and Claire the half said Leeds was a liar because Anna apparently died in N5. I guess the problem that I'm having is, did she see a fake Kaz? Because Kaz is real. He's alive. I don't know what
I
happened to
think
High
they
Ass.
all.
I don't remember. Go ahead.
I think they were all just put under it together. Honestly,
That's kind of like that was what I was gonna say. But okay, hold on.
the Kaz is weird. So Kaz is weird as fuck.
Yeah. What was
Because
Kaz? Is it with them? Hold on.
I'm sorry, let me think. Hold on.
So I see the flowers are blooming, and then she says, "No matter how many times I see it, it's an amazing ability. It's more akin to a god of creation than Brahma."
I think it's because he's creating life from the earth.
Oh. You know what?
Also,
He's literally causing the
I
flowers
thought
to bloom.
Pantanaga meant Lees for a second. Maybe he meant the other Kubera. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry.
No, he meant it's God.
Yeah.
Also,
which also makes sense because I mean we've talked about this before. Like Kubera, he seems to have abilities that other gods don't, that are more like akin to primevals, like seeing the future in the manner that he does. Fucking
He's
this
Shiva.
new creation shit that's like Brahma-esque. And apparently,
also,
I've said this a couple times. It feels like to me he's playing a game with Kali and Vishnu on some time level. I don't know what his angle is. It seems an anticentric, but he has some shit that other gods don't.
I don't want to say close, but him and Brahma do seem to actually be relatively on the same side in the manner in which they do things together.
I don't think so. I don't agree with that, but I think.
Trust me. Go back. Look.
I think their methods might be similar, but I don't think they agree on things.
Just wait.
They no trust you. That is not.
I don't know if I
say
trust,
made
but
the fuck up.
I'm not gonna say like they're best friends. However, they actively do things together, and there seems to be some level of like kind of respect that Brahma has for him, and the manner in which she's the one that literally brings Kubera over to give his blessing to the unborn child of Agni and Brilith. And there's other things they do kind of weirdly together, and it's kind of hinted that they both might be cheerleaders and all on the same side. Same with Varuna. So there's like a lot of these other weird like things behind the scenes where it's like there might be some level of like playing together. And yes, Pantanaga just said, Maru did say Kubera was sucking up to Brahma. That's already 3 instances right there.
Damn. All right. Anything else about the chapter we touched on?
I remember all those statements. I still don't think he's working with her.
And she got that match. She got that from Indra. Maru said Kubera was looking up to Brahma. Trust me, bro. Greater wisdom, Lord Miles. Hold on, as your neurons activating against my Lord Miles. When Jibril summoned Kubera Appa, she used a different method to summon him when timely summoned. But when timely summoned cheerleader Kubera, she used a regular method. Why was that? I don't think Leez would be aware of any other method except for the Iha, E2, whatever it's called. I can't spell it now. But I guess she wouldn't know the other way to do it, right? So the only way she could summon him is through the original method, right?
Yes. She literally had a book that was Itai.
Yeah. So that's why I think that happened the way that it happened. But
But again, even now, Kubera said again, "You're not my summoner." So again, that's like,
so something
is that
going
Anata
on.
again calling out to this motherfucker? Because she says goddamn, and then Kubera now, and then goes back to goddamn again. So I'm curious if it's like, I don't know, again, like the other part just coming out like in small doses.
He's definitely going to erase our memories of him. Somehow
Yeah. Mental transcendental.
I don't know if that's ever going to get revealed to Leez or not. It probably will at some point, but
it's still crazy to me that it's possible she's just been living some weird fake.
I mean, I don't know how she's been providing for herself.
That's kind of what I don't know.
That's the weirdest part. That's the weirdest
part. Like how she got the yellow shirt, whatever, that she doesn't have as the gift from fake mom. Unless it's just been God Kubera has been pulling up and taking care of her for years.
You think Loki just like occasionally like pulls
pulls
up with some people and like makes it like a real thing, just to like keep the
possible.
He might. I mean, we've seen that he has a level of care for her that goes beyond just the name stuff.
He's also been on. I think he's been on Willard for these 10 years too.
Well, he went missing for a while. So he
went missing as in like other people didn't know where he was.
No, he was. So I was like, you would assume he was on the planet, just chilling.
Yeah. Because that's when everybody else was doing the Kubera stuff, and he had to teamed up with Cigar and them at some point.
This has been the case since season 1, but he always came across as a little bit fatherly towards her, in my opinion.
Sure.
Especially when he's like lamenting over the fact that this is going to be the last time that she sees him in a certain way, and all this other stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if he took care of her or not. I don't know if that's going to happen, but it wouldn't shock me if it did.
Hey man,
I feel it. But all right,
my God. I will say this is the last thing for the chapter, real quick. I'd never even, I don't know how I just never thought about it, but the fact that Tarak and Callie are actually just twins, like looks wise, which makes sense.
I forgot that. You know what? No, I forgot that was from her blog comments. I forgot to bring that up. What did she say down here again?
They basically have like virtually the same faces, just like hairstyles and like clothing are different.
Yeah, like actually that she like puts on clothes that she would never wear on her type thing, right? There, I found it.
Callie likes going nude.
There we go. Hold on. Her smile is very similar to Callie. Well, it is virtually the same face as Callie's. Then there are those unique hairstyles or dress Callie's preference. Nope, she makes her copy wear them and watches because she doesn't want to wear those. But in Kubera's perspective, who is watching this, dressing like this with the same face as Callie could arouse quite many thoughts. Yeah. I knew Callie was a bad bitch.
Pussy.
I knew she was a bad bitch.
How do you think she got Garuda to fuck her, man?
I knew it. I knew she was the one.
Well, she turned birdish when she took that.
No.
She got her Zeus gimmick.
No. She did turn a little birdish.
Not like these. I totally agree on Cool being Lee's fatherly figure, with him occasionally warning her on the decision of what her future holds. Yeah, it's definitely a thing. It's so weird because like for a long time it was hard to get a read on exactly where he kind of stood with her. Though you knew like it was like it seemed like the care was genuine, but there are these moments like, you know, at the end of the second season where he kind of has like whip her ass because of like what's going on, where it's like, bro, what? Are you on our side or are you not? But what can you do? All right, people. Thank you guys for listening. We're not done yet. You know the drill. I'm about to put this. I'm gonna
Oh
leave
wait,
for
I
like
was gonna say, what the fuck do you think that red shit is that Leez is in? Because I don't think it's blood.
blood and Sura gut.
Sura body.
Gr-
I don't like. I couldn't. It looked more like crystals to me.
You think so?
Like Tarakas like esque geography is what it looked like to me. They didn't look like Gerudo clan bodies because he'd already covered all those up with like the flowers.
Uh,
I don't know. I hear you.
hold on. Wait, because it looks like in the panel. Wait,
It's just
am I
like a
tripping?
formless mass. It doesn't look like feathers.
You don't think those looks like feathers for the black, you know how like in the middle of the red there's kind of like the blackish part?
Yeah.
You don't think those look like feathers?
Either way, Miles. No, I don't. I don't. And either way, why is there a spike of rock coming out of it?
I kind of took it as like that's like a cut off wing that's laying there.
And
That's how
also,
I
if that
initially
was
looked. That's how I
if that was
initially
the
looked at
case,
it.
if they were Garuda bodies, why aren't they all also underneath the earth that he literally just made and Taraka gassed them up for?
I have no idea. Maybe little Lee just went crazy and just boxed her.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't
Little Lee's
think
just went.
those are Garuda bodies.
Anata woke up in Lee's and started bodying birds because you know snakes hate birds. So it awoke her name. I have no idea.
I could make the whole world shimmer. All right, guys. Shout out to the Patreon gang. Shout out to my certified BAM lovers. I appreciate y'all. Gotta show love to the priests of fire. You already know what's brilliant, gang, over here. But I gotta give a huge thanks to my tier 3 subscribers, the 5th Zen gods. Shout out to Zodiac, Sunny Katapali, Simi, Scobe, Revenant, Lucky Roo, Lazy Dragon, Chris, Johnny Rogers, Irene Sharda, Triss, David Langstaff, Childish Nujabes, AJ, and my boy Big Abdel. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you.